Robert Kennedy Jr., a prominent U.S. presidential candidate of our day and age, has made it clear the CIA is out to kill him. The history of the Kennedys' political legacy is shrouded in tragic loss, betrayal at the highest levels of government, and a will to fight for the truth even in the face of almost certain death. But a very serious question needs to be asked here. Why would a potential president need to fear agencies that are supposed to be servants of the American people? The Kennedy family is one of the most famous and influential families in American history. RFK Jr.'s recent bombshell interview with Joe Rogan has shown the true extent of this corruption.
Really loud.
Senator Kennedy has been shot. Is that possible? Is that possible? It could. Is it possible, ladies and gentlemen? It is possible. He has. Not only Senator Kennedy. Oh, my God.
Are we going to expose the CIA today? Why not? RFK tells Joe Rogan he's aware the CIA could assassinate him like his uncle JFK. Looks like the cat is out of the proverbial bag for these alphabet soup agencies. When JFK was assassinated, a message was sent across the world that America was a captured country, beholden to the nameless dark masters of the military and media industrial complex. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. His autopsy report clearly describes multiple gunshot wounds, but this fell on deaf ears as its official time of release was held off until the convenient distraction of flu season, blinding the public from even caring. Instead, people clamored for shit tickets, cancer-inducing hand sanitizers, and vaccine boosters to enjoy a morbidly false sense of temporary safety. This detail was covered up over the past 4 decades, not only by the Surgeon General, but also by the mainstream media and even our own government. Why would these agencies want to kill off such a popular president? At the time of his demise, JFK was doing everything possible to de-escalate the Cold War, but his control over the US military showed to have its limits as the military and intelligence agencies took it upon themselves to train Cubans to attack Castro despite the commander-in-chief's orders to stand down. Once JFK realized he'd been lied to by these agencies, he decided to release the 1,000 Pieces speech, where he vowed to dismantle the CIA and FBI and scatter them into 1,000 pieces. He's then spent 2 years fighting against the escalation in Laos and Vietnam as the Warhawks pushed for conflict during this entire time of his presidency. In October of 1963, he signed an executive order to withdraw all American troops from the area by 1965, and a month later he was killed by a CIA asset, Lee Harvey Oswald, and at least one other unknown shooter.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that. In fact, nobody has said that to me yet.
He's been shot.
But hold on. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video and push us past the digital gulag of suppressed information. And let us know what the top things that you want us to cover in the comments section below as we continue. Another Kennedy man stepped up to the plate to continue his brother's work, Robert Kennedy, aka Bobby Kennedy, and he put in a bid for the presidency right away. Bobby was very outspoken throughout his tenure about the goals of the CIA to create a perpetual conflict in developing nations and a vacuum of control and exploitation of third world countries. He stood strong in the public eye on these views as both an attorney general and the senator of the United States, leading up to his assassination in June 1968. There are conflicting details regarding his death. In the autopsy report, there is evidence that he was shot up close in the back of the head, but the mainstream media and police reports claim he was shot by Sarah, who's standing in front of him. There remains the dark question: did his bodyguard to the rear pull that trigger? As if this pile of evidence wasn't enough, in 1999, JFK Jr. looked to take on his father's legacy as well in a bid for the Senate, pinned up against a political opponent and assassin of a good time, Hillary Clinton. 4 months later, the Kennedy son died in a tragic plane crash as the mainstream media pushed a narrative that Jr. was a reckless pilot. But accounts of the crash paint a questionable scenario where his systems halted operations mid-flight without any solid explanation. The truth has come out, and for some reason, Americans remain asleep, lulled into a state of confusion, satisfied by quick, cheap, processed foods, mostly peaceful flash mob and spoon-fed narratives explaining away why America just has to get involved with the war in Ukraine to defend Joe Biden's corrupt monetary interest and auctioned-off state secrets. The crimes of the CIA, FBI, CISA, big tech, and governments are slowly coming to light, and the U.S. House of Representatives has now released a report this week on just that. How a cybersecurity agency colluded with big tech and disinformation partners to censor Americans. It is up to we, the people, to ensure that these details don't become lost in the mist of time passing as memories become forgotten. The series of attacks on major political figures have set the tone of silence among our elected officials. They are subservient to these rogue internal organizations. They are afraid, and there is a spirit of direct challenge to this blatant corruption that seems to be lost in the halls of American power, but not with you and not with me.